Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you've been watching the other videos, you've seen that this is all about me and how I get myself, as you can see, back into shape. You see a couple of things here which you'll have already seen the unboxings of. This is the juicer, as you've probably seen, and the liquidizer. One of the things I wanted to mention is when we unboxed the liquidizer, if you remember, there were some things that we thought were missing, and they were missing. So what we did is Ninja were very good. They admitted that they were missing, admitted that they should have been in it as well. You've got to remember this, because if you buy the full package with everything else and you buy this separately, this is £60. So we paid like, I think, £140 for this or something like that, and this would cost an extra £60 if we wouldn't have realised it was missing. We called customer services, and believe me, they've got a fantastic customer services. I've called them a few times now, and they're as good as gold. Apologised straight away and sent it straight out. So remember to get that. Alright, so that's the first thing. That's going to save you 60 quid. We'll show that later. That's just actually more for my wife. That's a bit of slicing and grating and all that kind of stuff that's in there. Okay. A couple of other toys. Well, one other toy that we got, which is this. As I said, if you see the early videos, that it's all going to be done quite scientifically. This is a blood pressure monitor, and so we've got this. I've already used it a few times, taken some measurements, and I've started logging how my weight's going and various things. We've got a blood glucose thing coming soon, and also with cholesterol. We've got an oxygen meter saying how much oxygen is in my blood, and various other goodies. As we get the goodies, we will show you. We'll save the unboxing for this for a later time when we've got 2 or 3 other things. The other thing is the latest news is come out today, this morning, was entitled "We're going to need a bigger bowl." Because what they're saying is instead of 5 portions of fruit and veg a day, we should be actually having 10. So that's 10 portions. Now they're saying each portion is 80 grams, and therefore we're going to need at least 800 grams of fruit and fibre and veg per day to maintain a healthy life. Now, what they're saying the difference is, if we only had 5 portions and 10 portions, we could lower our heart disease rate from 24% down to 14%. We could lower strokes if we went from 5 to 10 portions, from 33% it is now, or what's supposed to be, if we did a strict 5 portions a day, from 33 to 26%. Cardiovascular disease, we could knock it down from 28% to 19%. And cancers, okay, that's not a lot, from 13 down to 12%. And dying prematurely because of bad diet, this is all because of bad diets, etc., would be from 31% down to 24% if we increased our level to 10 portions a day. So I am more and more convinced every day that I'm on the right track, and this is something worthy to do, at least for, in my case. I mean, now you can do 3 days, you can do 5 days, you can do just 1 juice a day for the rest of your life if you want. I'm going on a 28-day juice, high juice diet, okay, which is just absolutely bashing my system with nourishment from micronutrients. The next thing, what I seem to have forgotten to mention so far, is what sort of led me onto this. You're going to see in the details underneath the video, you'll see there's some writing underneath the video, and it'll say in a little box there, show more. If you click on the show more, up will come a whole list of things that I'm going to put on a daily basis as we do these videos. And I'm going to put the film that actually got me onto this. Now, I've had this idea for years, and definitely in the last 6 months I've been thinking more about it, but this film definitely sort of hit the nail right on the head. And the film is actually Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. It's this guy, Joe Cross. Now, other people have done juice books, right? But they've been basically going on about a juice diet. This guy went from very, very severely ill, right? Okay, and let's bring that in closer. Okay, that's there if you can see that. Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. The film, this is the book of the film. Really, really fascinating book, okay? I watched the film a couple of times to get in loads of information about it. He was very, very sick, had all sorts of skin complaints, all sorts of other conditions. That doctors really couldn't, he was taking lots of medicines daily just to try and keep on top of it, but he wasn't getting anywhere. And he'd sort of decided that what he was going to do is fill his body full of micronutrients, and he came up with this. And the basic difference is he wasn't initially particularly going on a diet, although, like I keep saying, that was a side effect. But he was basically trying to heal himself. He went on 60 days. Now, he went under strict doctor supervision to do this. He again did it very scientifically. And this is one book. Now, I wasn't happy with just that, so I got another book as well. Okay, which is this one, Reboot with Joe Cross. Okay, you can see what he looks like now. He looks totally different to how he did to begin with. All right, and there's another one, and this one's a recipe book. Now, all the others, don't get me wrong, all the others have got certain recipes in it, but this is just solid recipes, and that kind of thing. And another one, because I was going to get the sets, which I did, Reboot Fully Charged. Okay, this is how he's going to go afterwards. All right, let's just bring that in there. But he's not the only guy to have done this thing. Okay, there's a few other people that have done similar things, but primarily more concentrated. He was the one that concentrated on the fact that he's ill and he wants to get better. And it's not just him. While he was on the road, because he's an Australian, went to America to do a 60-day juice because his conditions all started in America, so he thought it was just apt to go back to America. While he was in America, in a truck stop in the middle of, I think it was Iowa, he met another guy who was actually even bigger than him, similar age, had exactly the same sort of conditions. And he sort of, you watch the film, he basically helps him as well, and both of them have lost massive amounts of weight and suddenly become healthy. They're both totally off all their diet, off all their medication. There was another couple of people in there, another woman particularly, who had constant migraines, and she then cut out the caffeine, cut out this. She then went on a fast, I think it was only for 7 days, but again, no migraines after that, everything else. The next guy, Jason Vale, who as you can see, I'm in the middle of reading that one, okay? This was the first book he did some years ago, Slim for Life, all right? Let's just see if you can get better on that, okay? And so that was Slim for Life. And then he did another one, which is The Ultimate Fast Food. And that's again, basically talking about how to keep going and how to carry on with your juice diet, and so on and so forth. Again, Joe Cross, the guy that sort of, for me, started it all, there's a free video on his website, and so I'll put the link of that down there, and you can see that. In this pre-diet thing that we've got going on, there's a week, which starts on Monday for me, of pre-dieting. That's totally getting rid of everything out of my system. So I've actually been starting to do this by starting to cut down on caffeine, intake more water, have less bread, less sugar, and a whole host of things. I was nearly 96 kilos on the 31st of January. Weighed myself this morning, and I'm down to 94.2 kilos. So I've already lost 2 kilos in weight, and I haven't even restarted the diet yet. So I think I'm on the right track. So one thing I must say, and I must add, remember, if there's anything from a 3, 5 or 7 day, or even as much as a 15-day plan that you're going to do, you can do that relatively safely, as I've mentioned on the videos before, as long as you're reasonably fit and healthy, okay? When I was talking before about Joe Cross going off his medication and all the other people, they did that under strict supervision. You'll notice that when you watch the film, because they had lots of doctors there, etc., etc., and so on and so forth. But so if you are on medication, get doctor's advice first, okay? And don't just stop medication because you feel better. Always ask a doctor before you're going to go off your medication, okay? Bye. See you next time.